Hello everyone, and welcome to my video on Viv and a Back Ferry simulator, which is currently in beta. So you may be wondering, how exactly do I play this game? Well, as soon as you spawn in, you will you will have the stick called the stick. So you spawn in, and what you do with the stick is that you actually go to piles of trash and just collect trash. It's that straightforward. You can clearly see like where all the piles of trash are with like this label which shows how much rare trash there is. Speaking of trash, rare trash, there's actually three rarities. So there's the white rarity, which is common, the blue rarity, which is rare, and the yellow rarity, which is yellow, which is legendary. So of course, the more rare the trash is, the more the more valuable the trash is. So as you collect trash, you'll see that your bag starts to fill up, and once it's full, you would want to go to this trash collector right here nearby spawn. So what you do is just press E to sell trash. You can see where all of like the types of trash that you can get. You could specifically just sell like a certain type of trash, like for example, empty cans, like you can just sell that. Or you can just simply just sell all, which will obviously just sell all of the trash at once. The reason why there's a button to like just sell specific items is because you will actually need some items to craft like food, but we'll talk about that later. So as you're collecting trash, you start to realize, hold on, is there a faster process to do this, to earn more money? Because in this game, it is very hard to earn money. Now, if you go here to the Dollar General store, which is also nearby the spawn, you'll go through here and see that there's a bunch of upgrades that you can buy. Here with the stick upgrades, you can buy a bunch of sticks, and the more expensive it is, the more trash that you can collect at once. Like for example, a $5 stick you could only collect 2 trash, but with a $100 stick, you can collect 6 trash at once. And then if you feel like, oh well, I'm getting a lot of trash, but I don't really have enough storage, then here we have the storage upgrades. So here we have the scotch tape, the duct tape, and the measuring tape. So what it is, right, is that each one of these tapes actually gives you +5 storage, but there's a maximum amount of storage that you can get from each of the tapes. For example, the scotch, you can only get a maximum of 100 storage from the scotch tape. And once you have 100 storage from the scotch tape, you can no longer buy any more +5 storage from the scotch tape, which means that you have to go to the next expensive thing, more expensive thing, which is the duct tape. And once you have a maximum of duct tape, then you will have to go to the most expensive way to get storage, which is the measuring tape, which costs $20 for +5 storage. Here we have the microwave. The microwave is used to make food, but I'll talk about that later. And then we also have the microwave upgrades there, but of course I'll talk about that later as well. Here's some cosmetics, some items just to like play around with. They don't actually have any benefits, they just make funny sounds. That's about it. There's also the Max Volume Game Pass, which you can buy with actual Robux. You also have the clothing. It's not, yeah, they usually cost money, so keep that in mind. They do not affect gameplay whatsoever, but more so just like a cosmetic, like all of these funny items. Of course, they actually cost money. Like you need a certain milestone of money, but of course, Like they won't, you won't spend it on the items. Now that that's out of the way, let's go. Let's talk about the bus area. So here, if you go here, there's actually this bus area, and if you go through the bus, you can actually go to this area where you can actually find the rarest type of trash, which is the legendary trash. However, in order for you to go through this bus, you actually need a bus ticket, which costs $100. And where you can find the bus ticket is from nearby the trash collector, which is literally right next to him. Tells you everything about it. It's a bus ticket with you through the bus, and it costs $100. Simple as that. Of course, if you are a new beginner, then it'll actually take a while for you to get $100. So keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about the other stuff in the Dollar General store. So here, we actually have a lottery ticket that you can use to have a 1% chance of winning $100. However, of course, this is gambling and is literally just based on luck, so I honestly wouldn't recommend buying it. For example, this person right here is basically spending all of his money just to get $100. Now, let's talk about the microwave. So the microwave is used to cook food, and you may be wondering, oh, what's food for? Well, if you go through here, you will see this sign that says now hiring. You go through the store, then you'll find usually a bunch of microwaves. Just keep in mind that this store can sometimes shut, but all you have to do is just click on it and then it'll just open. And I see some people struggle with that sometimes. So here you can actually, once you buy a microwave for $60, you can place it on any of these trays right here. Of course, what you should keep in mind is that once you place it somewhere, you should memorize where you placed it because all of the microwaves look the same. For example, this may look like my microwave, but it isn't. So of course, if you click, you can easily find your microwave by just clicking on all of the microwaves and saying which one is yours, because it will say this ain't your microwave. And here we have it. Because +1 cake. As you can tell, I was already making a cake to begin with. So through here, you can actually serve all these customers with like certain types of food that you have created. I gave this man a cake because I just created a cake, and I've earned money from that because I gave it to him and sold it to him. Here we have the recipe book, which gives you a variety of recipes where you can create all types of food. Of course, you would need some certain types of ingredients, which is all trash, but they usually aren't that expensive. You can, so for example, a cake, all you need is just 4 foils and 5 cardboard, and like for the most expensive, like type of food, like all you need is 1 sock, 7 bottles, and 2 cardboards. Over here it tells you the name of the type of food. It tells you how long it would take to like heat it up and be ready. And it also tells you the value, like how much money you can earn from just that type of food alone. It's very nice. So for example, once you have all of the ingredients, which sadly you don't have, then you can just put it in the microwave, it will make a beeping sound, and then the timer will start. And once the timer reaches 0, then you can click it again, and then you will have your food ready. It says +1, for example, cake. Then you can give it to a person that wants cake, like this fellow right here, and then you'll earn money just like that. Now, just to keep in mind that if you don't have enough resources, don't worry, they will tell you. So, for example, it tells me that I do not have enough socks, so I'll just easily find another sock. Straightforward as that. Another thing to keep in mind is that there's actually these rusty nails that aren't really they aren't much of a problem, but you can actually die from them. So for example, if I was unaware of the rusty nail, if I just stepped on it, I'll just die, and they'll just say warn you that you stepped on a nail and died. So just keep that in mind and just be aware of your surroundings. You can find one here nearby the door from the Dollar General store, and you can also find some nails here from like the microwave area. So try not to like walk like this, like too close to the wall. Try walking this way instead, or else it'll be like this, just like that. And I died nearby the gingerbread man. So another thing I wanted to talk about is that you can actually buy a gun. Yeah, you can buy a gun. The gun costs $350. It's pretty expensive, very expensive. It also tells you that you can rob local businesses, but it does not save. I do not know if this counts as not. If you reset, then you don't get it. It then does not save, but it's guaranteed that it will not save if you leave the game and then rejoin. So let's go back here. Yeah. So here, once you have a gun, you can go this way, and then if you move to your right, not the bus area, you actually find a store over there. Now, to keep in mind that this road is actually pretty busy. There will be cars zooming through. There will also be this dummy, it's just a dummy really. Doesn't do much, but it's a dummy either way. You're safe to like stick in the middle of the yellow line because they can't get you from there. But always just be aware of where you just look before you cross the street. Like, like how they treat you. So you go through the store and then you'll be welcomed. Well, not really welcomed at all. You could just basically just chill here. So if you were to have the gun and interact with the friendly cashier, then you would able to start a robbery. Of course, if you don't, then they'll tell you. Then the cashier will just tell you if you want to rob the store, you gotta buy a gun first. So once you actually do start a robbery, you can actually collect all of these, these items, and each one of the items cost $1 each. Maybe not. It may not be much, but if you were to collect all of them, I think you could get a hefty amount of money. However, keep in mind that once you start a robbery, everyone will be notified about it. There will be this like notification on the top of the screen where it says like a robbery has started, and there would be like a 5-minute like timer. So just keep that in mind. It's mostly recommended to just do a robbery in like small servers, or maybe even a private server if those are even available. Another thing I want to talk about is that there's more, other ways of like gambling away your money. If you go through like the area with legendary trash, you can go to the shack and you can actually find slot machines. And with these slot machines, you can just bet like money and like get more money. But I've never used these before, so I don't exactly know how they work. This isn't actually supposed to be like, like the actual mechanic in the game, but there's a trick. If you do not have the bus ticket and you still want to go through just to get some legendary trash, there's actually a way to like glitch through it. So what you want to do here is jump on the bus, and then you want to jump this way, and then bam. Then just jump over the fence, climb over it, and then bam, you're here. Simple as that. Other than that, that's really all to this game. Just a reminder that it's still in beta, so there may be a couple of bugs here and there, and there will surely be more content available in the near future. I hope you liked this video, and start collecting trash. Good luck to all of you.